Fingerstyle guitar can be one of the most challenging things to approach for a beginner. There are so many variables and so many different ways to approach this technique that many can feel discouraged even before picking up the guitar. In this video, I'm going to show you 9 tips for fingerstyle beginners that will hopefully remove the fear that is blocking you from getting started. So let's jump right into it with the first tip. Just get started. Fingerstyle is just as tricky as any other guitar techniques. Everything is challenging at the beginning. Just think about it. Your very first chord was challenging. Your very first strumming didn't sound as beautiful as now. So obviously, most of the time, it's just the fear of getting started because we think that fingerstyle is not for beginners. So the very first step is to change your mindset and to believe that you are 100% capable of playing guitar with the fingerstyle technique. Now, tip number 2, understand the basics of fingerstyle. When it comes to fingerstyle guitar, there are 3 right-hand golden rules that everyone should know. You can learn these 3 rules, and then as you become better, you can adjust these 3 rules based on your playing. There is no such thing as one way of plucking the strings. There are a lot of different variables, but these 3 golden rules will really help you getting started the right way. Rule number 1, keep the thumb in front of the fingers, like this. Rule number 2, keep the fingers at a 45-degree angle. And rule number 3, use the fingers just like a guitar pick. When you pick the strings with a guitar pick, you move the pick away from the strings to generate speed and momentum. So do the same with the fingers. Tip number 3, start with just one string. You can start plucking with just one string. Just learn a simple melody, just a few notes, or even a scale on one string so that you can understand how the plucking works. It's super simple. If you do it with the thumb, just start with the bottom strings, for example, the low E string. If you do it with the fingers, make sure that you don't pluck the strings with just one finger. Always use 2, for example, index and middle. Tip number 4, isolate the plucking movement. One of the best ways to become better at fingerstyle is by isolating the plucking movement. I like, for example, to use the same plucking pattern across the strings. I like to start with one chord, for example the E minor, it's super simple. And then I'm gonna play the same plucking pattern over all the strings. I'm gonna start with just the thumb and index, and I will do it like this. So I'm basically playing with thumb and index, and I will do 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, and 5. Now we can do this exercise with different plucking patterns. For example, I could use thumb, index, and middle. Or thumb, index, middle, and ring. We can obviously play the same pattern over different chords. Tip number 5, decide your plucking approach. The 3 right-hand golden rules work great for beginners. As you become better at playing the guitar and as you develop your technique, you might change these 3 golden rules slightly. And what it means is you can change the right hand position. Some guitar players like to rest the pinky on the body like this. Now that feels impossible to me, but it doesn't really matter because we can't say that resting the pinky on the body is a wrong approach. So understanding that it's okay to change and adjust your plucking based on your natural way of plucking the strings is probably one of the most amazing things that you can do. Stop asking questions such as, am I doing it right? Is this the right way? Just listen to your ears. If the tone that comes out of your guitar is good and you are 100% comfortable with the way you are plucking the strings, then you are on the right path. So stop worrying too much about how other people pluck the strings and just focus on your technique. Just focus on developing your technique. However, guys, this tip only works once you start developing your skills. If you are a beginner, just follow the basic rules and learn like everybody else. Then as you become better, you can make your choice and you can stick to it. But until then, make sure that you learn the basics. Tip number 6, record yourself. Now we all like to look good, we all like to take selfies and look awesome and sharp, but we don't really like to record ourselves. Recording yourself exposes all your flaws. When you start, it sounds like crap. The first time I recorded, I just couldn't believe it was me playing. I thought it was okay, but then I recorded myself and I realized that I wasn't really that good. However, the more you do it, the more chances you have to fix what's wrong in your playing. I mean, just look at this video. And welcome back. Today I'm gonna play a rock solo and I will show you in details what I'm playing. Now, it's always kind of painful to go back to it and watch it again. But trust me guys, recording myself not only improved my playing, it improved my English, it improved the way I look, the way I think about a lesson, the way I teach. So if I didn't just start recording and just put this stuff out there, maybe, I wouldn't really be here today. So start right now. Start recording yourself, video, audio, whatever it is, just get started. Tip number 7, use your ears and focus on your tone. When you start practicing the guitar, there are so many things going on in your head that it's easy to stop noticing how what you play sounds. You are so focused about playing the right notes that you forget about making these notes sound good. So I recommend that at the end of each session, make sure that you play all the things that you practiced, but focusing on the tone and dynamics. Spend a little bit of time playing these beautiful chords you've been playing. And focus on the tone. Just try to find a way to make them sound nice and beautiful. Tip number 8, use the metronome, but not for speed. We usually use the metronome to learn how to play things fast, but try to use it to slow things down. Trust me guys, it can be really challenging to play something slow with timing and feel. So make sure that you put the metronome, let's say at 60, and practice different rhythmic patterns. Tip number 9, practice scales, but also arpeggios. Practicing scales is definitely one of the most important things that you should do. They can help you develop your technique, speed, control, and musicality. When it comes to fingerstyle though, I see a lot of people practicing scales, but not many practicing arpeggios. An arpeggio is a chord broken down into single notes, like this. Now the reason why I like to practice arpeggios is because they don't follow a simple structure just like a scale. For example, when you play the C major scale, you always have more or less the same number of notes on each string. 2 notes, 3 notes, 3 notes. But when you practice an arpeggio, sometimes you can just literally pluck one string at a time. So I think it's just great to practice scales but also arpeggios so that you can diversify your plucking. Most of the time it's just simple fear that is stopping you from getting started with the fingerstyle technique, so make sure that you just get started. Follow the tip number 1 to just get started, guys, and then once you are in the game you will see how amazing the fingerstyle technique is. I'm gonna leave you to practice this. I'm gonna put the tabs of all the things that I played on my Patreon page. Make sure that you check it out. As always, guys, take things step by step. Practice slowly and you will become better at playing the guitar. I'll see you next time for another video.